miss. I call the shots, I never call it quits. Trust my intuition, bet it's right and bitch it often is. Seen too many others come and go, they had the wrong intent. Do it out of love and never for it, then I watch it get bigger than expected. Don't second guess it, I let it set it. It's God's plan, we out here only accepting blessings. I'm stuck with it, this mindset is terminal. In and out different terminals, leveling up is personal. And I already made it, y'all can miss me. It's hard to believe I made something from nothing. No hindsight discussions, I've been writing, I love it.
Welcome to the 3 Gig Sports Podcast, where we are never wrong, just sometimes misinformed. This is Danny G, sitting alongside Rio and Jimmer tonight. And no interviews tonight. We're just going to talk sports, talk the happenings around the world and shit like that. But here's something I want to drop on Jimmer right now. I have no idea how much you know. This is a little bit of a surprise, we'll say, segment, okay? So this is specifically a shout-out to Wes Keith down in Des Moines. He's the guy that runs 22nd Street Barbell. Hopefully we can get him on here sooner than later, too, actually. He shot me a message because he listens to the podcast, and it's around NIL deals, okay? So he shot me a message on Instagram, and he's like, oh, man, this shit's getting out of control. Texas lawmakers are considering legislation that would allow Texas high school athletes to earn NIL compensation. I'm like, we've spent so much time talking about all the craziness in college. I have not even thought about high school. Did you know about this, Jimmy?
I did not.
Okay.
I did not.
I'm not done.
Okay.
So then I get here a little bit early. I'm doing some research, and I start going down the rabbit hole.
Uh-oh.
Danny
in a rabbit hole. He get lost for a little bit.
Exactly. I mean, we're like, dude, what's up? Why are your pants down? What the hell?
Yeah, so I found this website. For those of you listening, if you want to check it out, it's opendoors.com /blog/NIL high school, right? And it lists every state and what their status is for high school athletes and NIL compensation. Do you know how many states actually allow high school athletes to get NIL compensation?
How many?
I would have shit my pants if we said one, right?
Yeah.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Damn.
And
California.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Hold on.
That are considering.
So you said 9. Let's turn that into a little game. Do you know which ones they are?
Yeah.
Well, you're looking at it.
Exactly.
I'm gonna take a flying stab. See if I'm in the ballpark. Okay.
Ooh, okay.
You just said Texas, but they are not official, so that isn't. So they're not one of the 9.
So they're a no. Yep.
I'm gonna say California. I'm gonna say Florida.
Nope.
Oh. Colorado.
Yep.
I'm thinking heavy liberal. Minnesota?
They're considering.
Oh, considering. Okay.
As is Iowa.
I figured they would be. Well, Iowa kind of follows suit, and Minnesota we're usually a few years behind in whatever they do. Michigan?
Considering.
Pennsylvania?
No.
Ooh.
No.
New York?
Yes.
Let's go like Richie Rich. New Hampshire?
I don't know what that looks like.
Connecticut?
No. They're all up in here, so that's a no.
Connecticut?
I think Connecticut is, right? What's that little green bitch right there? I can't remember.
It's one of those up there. Guarantee it.
I can never keep track of the little ones that are all right next to each other.
All right. So I got a few of them.
Yeah.
It kind of follow. No, this is insane to me, but it's like I said, I still got to ride with it. I don't think it's any different between a high school and a college when it comes to this. I can't tell a kid that he can't go make his money. If somebody is stupid enough to pay you money when you're in high school to go be on their billboard, who are we to say they can't earn money for their family or for themselves? You know, whatever the scenario. That'd be like saying you can't go work somewhere either. You know, like when you're in high school, because their business may take a spike while you come in and you're working because they come in to see you because you're the local star quarterback. I don't know. I do think it's crazy. I do. I'm like, that's a thing?
Yeah.
Wow. But me personally, I would have to ride with, you know what? It's off yourself, right? It isn't like they're pimping. It isn't like they're pimping other people, you know?
It's
I don't know.
Nuts to me. The cool thing, if you're smart with your money, is, let's see, you go into high school, right? Let's say you're a stud. go through high school, make some pretty good money, go to college, make some really good money. You retire by 22. What the fuck? Why not?
Yeah.
What's the pros? I'm gonna retire.
Here's the thing, though. Like, and God, I hate to be this way, but look at the school shootings that are happening right now.
Those
kids are being bullied and doing this stuff. What do you think that seeing other kids get millions of dollars is going to do?
Right, but that's what I was going to say. How big can these NIL deals possibly be? Texas, maybe. California, possibly. Like, Texas isn't even officially on board with it. Texas, we all know, is a diehard high school all football state. So that makes sense, right? As in, like, and not make sense in doing it. What I'm saying is, like, if they got, like, a decent chunk. We're talking about, like, the average yearly salary for a normal working class person. Maybe they got like $75,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
It's not life-changing money, but it definitely helps family. I doubt someone's handing out even $500,000 to a high school kid. I'm going to venture guess that isn't happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead. What were you talking about with the school shooting part?
I just think, kids get bullied and they do all this crazy stuff. All right, that was one of the main reasons of this shooting that happened this last weekend. What do you think that's going to do? A kid who sees they're making $100 million.
What was his reason? Because I haven't looked at this.
He's bullied.
He's bullied, but he was 18 and went to an elementary school and did it?
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Exactly. Well, no, it does.
You didn't go to the hie school where you were getting bullied?
Right. Right. He has no, nobody's going to stand up to him, right, at the other place, right? Nobody, kids, stuff like that.
True. You
understand that? I guess we understand.
I guess I do, but I just mean usually bullying is in retaliation, getting back at the people that literally were bullying you.
Kind of like Columbine, right? That was a big part of it. That's
Yeah.
why he went back.
Yeah.
There was a lot with him though, right? So he did get bullied for sure. He kind of fell through the system too, and we see that a lot. Like there were a lot of red flags, like this kid's got problems.
Yeah.
We need to help him. We need to keep an eye on him and everything. He even got stopped before he went into that elementary school to do that. So there's just a lot of holes that's a whole nother rabbit hole that we could go down for sure, right?
Yeah.
That shit's nuts. But getting back to the whole NIL compensation thing, just to keep it sports for a minute, my conspiracy theory, since you're big on this, and we're starting to get Rio into these too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I'm a
he's
big fan of that.
he's been an advocate here recently of Conspiracy Corner.
Oh yeah,
We need to get this started.
And especially since you hate the college NIL deal situation as it is, what I think's happening in college is the NCAA is doing this on purpose. They're just completely hands off to make people want regulation and want things to get tightened back up.
Weird.
Want them to be more involved.
Weird. Is that like just a smaller version of how our government acts too?
It's kind of weird, right?
Weird. Yeah, it's crazy. So at the moment, Texas is not open enrollment. If you move schools, you have to show my family moved or somebody took a job in that district of some sort. I was telling Danny a story. It happened to a quarterback that played for Hazel. He's now the starting quarterback at Vanderbilt. He went in as a freshman, started all games. But he come into high school, freshman quarterback. He was, well-known stud. He went to a lot of the big camps. But there was like a senior, or maybe it was a junior, actually, now that I think about it. And they split time because they were about the same comparison.
Yep.
And he's like, well, obviously this freshman's got talent. We want to see what he has. And then we also want to play this, older guy because he's got some experience. So they kind of did that thing, and it looked like they were going to do it again the next year. And his dad moved him to Weatherford. Hazel ISD goes, they challenge, go to the UIL, say he did not move for his dad because his dad got a job or life purposes. He moved for athletic purposes. They won, and the kid lost a year of high school eligibility.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, I think I'm kind of against that. I understand it's your own school, but sometimes you need to better your situation. What's the difference between you pulling a kid because, let's say, he's getting bullied? We'll go back to that for a second. Mm-hmm. Say they're getting bullied. Now you can't move your kid over to another school. Or maybe you can, but only because it's not athletics, and they're not in athletics. That's a different type of stranglehold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know. That's see, we don't have that in Iowa. There's open enrollment. So literally you could. Now, that being said.
Well, I think it's probably trying to.
I get what it's trying to do. It's trying to prevent the richer schools or whatever people like the schools with money to try to entice or pull kids.
Right,
the
and
talented
basically
kids.
create all powerhouses, which
They already do in a different way anyway.
Yeah, Allen was already a powerhouse here for a while.
See, they do that
Alito.
right. They do that in a certain amount of way anyway. Like usually the Catholic schools, which don't
I was
get
going to say
the Catholic schools.
Can't say the
that don't
Catholics
get
said
yeah the
stop.
Catholic. Oh yes, I can, and I will.
Jeff Hansen's going to be pissed.
I know, but like there's no restriction on high school Catholic schools that sit here and do this on a regular basis, or the richer schools that literally they bring the kid over or talk them into come over to their school. I know this happened in we'll say a Des Moines school. I won't say the exact school. I know this happened in one of the more well-known schools down in Des Moines. Their parents miraculously got a job over there. They came from a poor neighborhood in Des Moines, went to a richer neighborhood, got a job over there, and were they miraculously were able to afford a pretty damn nice house over in that general vicinity to pull their, I can't remember if it was wide receiver, running back, but it was a talented young individual. So it happens here too, smaller scale. Iowa's smaller, but
Yeah.
But I don't know about putting restrictions on something. It's like, like, hey, just here you go, handcuff us. I don't know. I'm not about too many rules. Just make sure they're the right rules, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like it for high schoolers. Definitely not. I think at that point you're almost completely throwing away academics. At that point, and I think you open the door for more cheating, more covering up.
You're talking about, and maybe in that, then you'd be going on a way further rabbit hole. So I'm not going to give him that. I'm not going to give him the carrot. But what I will say is, in that case, because you're talking about making a rule, then make the rule to where you can do that. You can still get your NIL. You need to provide a 3.0 GPA. If you don't, that money gets put into a trust, or that money gets donated to a needy house of kids or whatever, something like that. Like, make it to where it's incentivized. Like, it isn't just off your name, image, and likeness. You also got to earn it.
You can't be barely passing classes,
right? Or not passing them at all, and they're just making them it happen.
If you don't pass, you don't play. But
yeah, does that really happen? I watched our star quarterback get popped at a party. The only one, well, not the only one. A bunch of kids get popped. Dude gets caught with marijuana. Did not miss a single game. A kid that doesn't regularly start, but was a rotational player, dipped below the C, and I'm talking about barely.
Yep.
And he was battling one class that he was really bad at. Mm-hmm. Dipped below that and had to miss a game. Pot grade. Illegal, struggling with the class, which the kid ended up getting a tutor too, but for that particular one. Mm-hmm. So, what do you mean sit?
I have
depends on who you are.
But yeah, it depends on who you are for sure.
Yeah.
You're being nice, not saying names, but the high school is Mason City High School, which is fucking terrible for that shit.
Yeah.
Just for the record.
Okay.
We dealt with that the whole
This
time.
was, now, mind you, to put it in context, this was, 20 years ago.
Fuck off.
We were that old.
Tired of that.
That's pretty damn close. It was like, 8, yeah.
How old are you guys?
Yeah, it was right around 20 years ago when that happened.
This is my last good year. 29. All's downhill after next year.
All right, we're getting way down there. But yeah, I'm all about people making their money. I'm still going to stay stance on that. I think you got to put a little something on there to make sure that. I'm not saying the limit on what you can make, because you're not going to hear me say that. That won't happen.
Yeah, high school it's just crazy to me. I couldn't believe that when I started digging.
Yeah.
So we'll see what else we can find. But aside from NIL deals in high school, what else is going on out there, Jimmy?
Well, let's go ahead and roll into another part, because you kind of vaguely touched on it. For the unfortunate events.
Kind of like my uncle.
No.
Didn't we see him Saturday?
Dude. Yeah.
Oh, jeez. No, okay.
We're in his turtleneck
Let's go in order. I don't know if you guys saw this. United Airlines worker fired after brawl with ex-NFL and current CFL player Brandon Langley at Newark Airport. So, if you guys have you watched the video?
Yeah.
Okay. You do realize there's like 3 videos, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Each one gets a little longer. The first one just shows the athlete punching a Newark.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what it basically shows.
Right.
You see an extended one. You see one a little bit more that you see 2 extended ones. And when I say extended, it's only like a couple seconds, okay? It's not much. But you do see that you don't see the original thing that absolutely happened that even brought him around to that corner. Supposedly it was over a wheelchair or something like that. Player was using it. Dude, the worker for United Airlines asked to use it or whatever and blah, blah, blah. Well, you rewind the video back, or as far the oldest one I could find so far to this moment is the worker hit him first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Struck him.
Yep, I saw it.
But like when it first came out, they just only put it to where like this wide receiver, this physically fit CFL professional, he's a professional wide receiver, punched a worker. I'm like, no. Up until this point, unless something else comes out, old boy touched him, slapped him across the face or some shit.
Yeah.
It takes a second to see it because like because it basically starts right when the Newark airport attendee or whatever hits him across the face. You can barely tell that he does it because like the dude's standing like right in front of it. But I don't know if you guys saw that or not.
Yeah, I did see it. And definition of fuck around and find out.
Yeah, that's why you always have to be skeptical of videos where you don't see what actually started it. That's all we see is just a part of things. So, yeah, that he definitely fucked around and found out real.
Yeah, he did. The way he flew, dude, he messed him up.
Oh, yeah.
Like
stumbling around.
Oh, yeah. And then he still came back. He's like gushing out of the eye. And he does, Langley does say loud and clear at one point, I finish shit. I don't start shit. So I don't know what happened just before that. If it turned, I don't know. But that's what you get.
Yeah.
That's what you get. You're fucking with an athlete. You might not know who they are, but why would you do that anyway?
Yeah.
To anybody.
Yeah. But get airport security then. Be like, hey, I'm asking, I need that. Let's say I assume it's a need, that you need that wheelchair. Then go get airport security and be like, hey, old boy here won't give it up.
Right.
I need that. Who are you to put your hands on somebody?
Right.
We're going to get into a more powerful one, and it does touch a little bit on what he said. First off, we'd like to say prayers up to all the victims and the families of the school shooting in Texas. Warrior Steve Kerr delivers impassioned plea for gun control after Texas shooting, saying we can't get numb to this. Now, if you guys read or seen the video, I heard this first before I actually read it. And he goes on a tirade. Now, if you guys don't know, especially from the Last Dance series, if you didn't know before, Steve Kerr's dad was shot and killed in Beirut back in the 90s, right? It was when he was in college, the 80s, right? So gun violence is a big thing to him. But he goes on this tirade about gun control, and he starts tagging up the 50 senators and stuff like that. And there's a proposed bill that's been up there for a while, and you guys won't do it. You guys don't want to lose power, and that's the reason why you won't do anything about it. I don't know anything about that bill, gentlemen. But he's like, well, they don't want to lose they don't want to lose power or money and this, that, and the other. And when he goes on this tirade, he says, then he starts going into the basketball thing. He's like, we're gonna play a basketball game tonight, and and then he starts baby backpedaling a little bit right there. Comes back a little bit and then goes back to the senator part of it. We can't get numb to this and this, that, and the other. You're going to, so my thought is, and this is not to be taken, I wanted to talk about this one because this is not to be taken out of that I don't think that certain things that need to be done. That isn't what I'm saying. Don't go on a tirade if you're not willing to do the same fucking thing. Like, you could have literally sat out that game to make a point. It was that important. You're calling for other people to give up theirs and I'm not saying they shouldn't, but you're on a podium doing that. You could have missed the game. You could have asked your players to sit this game out and you guys take a loss, forfeited it, right? To show that it's more important for the families, the shooting, right? And even if they didn't, you still didn't have to coach the game to prove a point. Did he do that for his millions?
Right.
Or did that basketball game all of a sudden become more important than the shootings that you just said weren't? That's what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting at. Like I don't know. I don't know if you guys watched his thing or not, or heard it.
Yeah, I did, and so I'm not for the whole, get rid of guns. That's not the answer.
No.
That's not what I feel like. But I do appreciate him using his platform to say something. I will always support somebody using their platform to, so even if I disagree with it, hey, you're a star, people are going to listen to you and say it. Maybe you can bring light to something. Now I don't always agree with the things that they go up there and say, but I do like and appreciate people using their platform to speak out. But on the other hand, too, I don't think taking away all the guns is the correct answer as well. But that's kind of where I sit on that.
Or making more laws, because the people that are doing it are breaking laws as it is.
Yeah.
So it doesn't.
This has always been my too. If we're talking about the guns for a second, I don't want to go too much on it because I don't have the answer. So I'm going to make that very, 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 very clear. I do not have the answer. Okay? I don't.
I do.
But one thing I do know is that no matter how many rules you make, no matter how many laws you make, no matter if you strip people of all their guns, you know who is always going to be able to get weapons? Criminals, because they bypassed everything to get there anyway. They're always going to be able to get them. So restricting them from people that legally go through the efforts to do it the right way to get it and to have their arms. Maybe there's other stuff you need to do, more psych evaluations or something like that. I don't know, but
I was told, and so it always kind of stuck with me. Like it says, locks only keep out the honest people, and that's 100% true. Same thing with laws. Laws are only the honest people are going to follow them, right?
Right.
Well, here's the deal: we can send all this money, billions of dollars, over to foreign aid. Why not? I don't think arming teachers is the right call, but we have plenty of veterans that come over that, sometimes struggle with jobs. You don't think they'd love to hire 5 of them for the entire school? Hire 5 of them, they're already trained in firearms, obviously give them a psych evaluation, all that kind of good stuff, and you pay them, whatever it is, $40,000 a year that's what you do for the school year. Mm-hmm. You guard the school.
Yeah, I saw a tweet about that earlier, and somebody actually did like a calculation. I don't know if it was based on all the elementary public schools or all public schools, but it was basically like we just sent $40 billion to another country to protect their kids and their people. If we use that same money, we could give roughly $400,000 to the public schools to be able to take care of this, to be able to pay security of some sort, to have a weapon.
Yep.
And that's what's going to deter them. They don't want to get shot, right?
Well, where do you see most of like violent acts like that with guns? Usually places that guns aren't allowed. Yeah. So basically, you're sheep in a pasture, right?
Yep.
So that people aren't supposed to be carrying guns in there, and then as a criminal, you're going in, you take care of whatever. There is someone in there to fire back at you. Mm-hmm. So I'm with you. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think Ted Cruz, one of your politicians down there, was asking for the same thing, just to have police officers at the schools. They do that in some of the schools already. Down in, I think Des Moines has a few, and around definitely way bigger. I'm sure. I'm just talking about in our local-ish area. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But why wouldn't you? Like, you want to protect them. It's that criminals will always get them. It doesn't matter. Yeah, that's the point of what I'm saying. But I don't know if you actually heard so where he backpedaled. That's what I'm talking about. So I have it ready if you want to listen. I'll turn it up.
Going to talk about basketball. Nothing's happened with our team in the last 6 hours. We're going to start the same way tonight. Any basketball questions don't matter. Since we left shoot around, 14 children were killed 400 miles from here, and a teacher. And in the last 10 days, we've had elderly black people killed in a supermarket in Buffalo. We've had Asian churchgoers killed in Southern California, and now we have children murdered at school. When are we going to do something? I'm tired. I'm so tired of getting up here and offering condolences to the devastated families that are out there. I'm so tired of the, I'm sorry, I'm tired of the moments of silence. Enough. There's 50 senators right now who refuse to vote on H.R. 8, which is a background check rule that the House passed a couple of years ago. It's been sitting there for 2 years. And there's a reason they won't vote on it, to hold on to power. So I ask you, Mitch McConnell, I ask all of you senators who refuse to do anything about the violence and school shootings and supermarket shootings, I ask you, are you going to put your own desire for power ahead of the lives of our children and our elderly and our churchgoers? Because that's what it looks like. It's what we do every week. So I'm fed up. I've had enough. We're going to play the game tonight, but I want every person here, every person listening to this, to think about your own child or grandchild or mother or father or sister, brother. How would you feel if this happened to you today? We can't get numb to this. We can't sit here and just read about it and go, well, let's have a moment of silence. Yeah, go Dubs, you know. Come on, Mavs, let's go. That's what we're going to do. We're going to go play a basketball game. And 50 senators in Washington are going to hold us hostage. You realize that 90% of Americans, regardless of political party, want background check, universal background check. 90% of us, we are being held hostage by 50 senators in Washington who refuse to even put it to a vote, despite what we, the American people, want. They won't vote on it because they want to hold on to their own power. It's pathetic. I've had enough.
For more context on that, too, it's background checks on long rifles. Because there is background checks for handguns. Yeah. Yep.
But what I'm getting at is, like, kudos to him and everything and the rant, and I appreciate that and trying to get change and using his platform. I do. I agree with all that. So don't take anything I'm saying against any part of that. What I'm saying is the game part right there. He literally laid it up to it, and then we're going to go play the game. Well, you want to invoke change, literally like, we're not playing this game. I'm pulling my team and we're not playing this. Put your money where your mouth is. You at least a game. You know, like, you want to demand change, but you want to do it just only by pounding at the table. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, definitely hypocritical in that sense, right? I think the thing that I disagree with him the most on is can't go numb to this. We got to we got to do something. Like right now, I don't know about you guys, but the times in your life where you don't make a drastic decision is when you're emotional. You can't. That's the worst thing that you can do. You've got to get a clear head. You got to figure shit out and then make a decision. You
overcorrect when you do stuff like that, right?
Yeah, exactly. So that's, I don't know. He kind of went off on a thing, but it also doesn't help that our politicians don't want the other team to win in anything. So if somebody comes up with a good idea, but whatever it is, none of us know the solution, right?
Right.
But whatever it is, if you're on the other side of the aisle, you don't want them to get credit for that, so you're not going to approve it. You're going to say there's something wrong with it, something you don't agree with, so you're not going to you're not going to push it through or whatever. So we got that bullshit game going too. Mm-hmm. My money don't jiggle.
My money don't jiggle. That's all. The big thing too with all these bills, whatever they pass, they always attach something to it. Or the other party is like, well, we'll let you do it if you attach this to it and sneak everything through. So it's not just going to be that comes through.
Exactly.
And it's whatever, if we already do the background checks for the handguns, whatever. I could give a shit about the long rifles because you touched on it right earlier. Criminals want guns. People that don't want guns, don't want things, they're going to get them. They're going to acquire them.
That also wouldn't have stopped this kid from getting a gun. He wouldn't have had anything in his record.
Exactly.
He just turned 18.
Yep. So
unless you're talking about just completely taking guns away altogether.
Right.
Yeah, and then that is definitely not the answer. So yeah, I don't know.
And that's the reason why I started this whole thing off with I don't know the answer. There's more intelligent people out there for that. There really is. It's just an extreme either which way isn't a good thing either. I'm with you on that. Like,
you're right about the more intelligent people out there.
Very, very few though. Very few. Just people with like the gun knowledge and the bills and all that. Well, before I keep going down that one, you guys see that the Raiders are hosting Kaepernick for a workout?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
The I Am Athlete podcast / now on Sirius XM take full credit for that because they had to sit down with him and got his word out, and he actually talked, which I had to give him a little bit of credit. Have you heard anything from Kaepernick ever since all that happened? How many ever years ago? You ever heard anything directly out of his mouth? This literally was out of his mouth, not a quote, not a.
No.
Does he make the team? Think about. Do
might.
you guys know who's on the? Yeah, who's on? Do we know who the back? They have a million backups.
Because it was.
They brought in
Marcus
Jared
Mariota.
Stidham too.
Who the fuck is that? So yeah, he can make the team.
No, yeah, I get what you're saying, but Jared Stidham, they literally traded a piece, I think, to get him from New England.
Yeah.
He was a young quarterback from Auburn.
Yep.
And they brought him in. I'm not saying that he was, but they literally traded a piece for that, and then somebody else too. Who else was that one?
I don't know. Wasn't Mariota there? And then he.
Mariota's down in
Right.
Atlanta.
That's what I'm saying.
I thought they had
I don't
another-
know who's there.
I'm gonna look it up now. Now that I'm.
I think yes,
Curious.
if he could accept the backup position and
That's
backup
what
money.
That's what that interview was, gentlemen. So I don't know if you have had a chance to hear that. He said he has no problem doing that. He's like, just call me in to compete. I just want to compete and show you that I can. Supposedly, and that literally came out of his mouth. It wasn't through representatives, representation, Nike, any of that shit. It was actually him just saying, I just want my shot. Just let me come in and compete. That's all I'm asking. Mm-hmm. And then he was talking about like, will they? Because they asked him a pretty blunt question too. Because it was like Brandon Marshall and all them. Like, it's a $16 billion industry or something like that. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's just me and you right now, right? Like, why would there be any distraction? Like, I'm worried about my team and my chemistry, like in the locker room. Tell me if I'm the owner, like how you're not gonna be a distraction to my team. And then he did go on to, like, if you ask any one of my ex-coaches, Jim Harbaugh, Chip Kelly, all of them, and I was voted by my locker room the most inspirational or blah, 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 or something like that. But he said, I've never...
Yeah, so was Tim Tebow. That'd make him a good quarterback.
And that was also a long time ago before all this bullshit with him. So I don't believe any of that. There's
Nick,
no way he can be...
This isn't a bad
non-distraction.
backup quarterback. I've actually liked him as a backup quarterback. Nick Mullins is their backup.
Oh, Nick Mullins is okay.
Yeah, that is the definition of a backup quarterback, right? That's
Yeah.
exactly who you want to come in. He's not good enough to be your starter 16 games and to go to the playoffs,
But
he's good enough to come in
and
to
compete.
Yep, compete, but then also come in
He's.
and maybe win you a game or two, like when your quarterback gets banged up.
I wouldn't say that. I think the better word is compete. I think he's not going to be the deciding factor what wins you the game, but he'll keep you close enough that your other guys could maybe win you the
Yep,
game.
there you go,
a good way to put it.
perfect. I like that. But yeah, that's who I did. What did you even answer though? Do they? Does he make the team?
No.
He doesn't.
No.
Can't even take that third string.
I think he could. I think he could.
I just don't know.
Josh
if he-
McDaniels there, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's been a long time, man. I don't know if I haven't seen enough tape or whatever, but I don't know that he could be in football shape and truly football ready to be able to make a team. Maybe he could. I don't feel like
he
could.
never had that much accuracy. We've went
no,
over his stats
we
even
talked
before
how
all
bad
that.
his stats were.
They're
after
not
his
good.
magical run.
Right.
Yeah, your arm has always been strong. There's never been a doubt about that, right? Your accuracy is not good, my man. Did you develop accuracy
Right.
while you were gone?
I think he came in at the perfect time. It was when
That
RPO
transition,
was
yep.
coming.
Yep.
The read option was
You mean
making its-
where Tebow didn't get that benefit?
Yeah, exactly.
Because no offense went around his strength?
I think that's RG3, same thing. He come in at the perfect time. One of the first people to bring back those RPOs and the read options and stuff like that is, obviously there's Michael Vick back in the day, but then it kind of disappeared. There wasn't anybody doing it until those guys.
Well, Mike Vicks was even like an RPO.
Well,
His was like make it happen, bro.
Make it happen.
Yeah.
And
Make it happen.
But like quarterbacks using their legs,
Yeah.
what I'm saying, on a consistent basis. And
Right,
so
but in the designed form of a true RPO though, that were
it took
the NFL game that finally wrapped their mind around it. So if you guys remember, they flirted with it, like McDaniel flirt with it a little bit with Tebow. he would be a few snaps a game like that, like an actual RPO,
Right.
because nobody believed that the simplicity of a RPO from the college game would work in the NFL.
Yeah.
So nobody wanted to bank their career on it and move on. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So some people didn't even get a fair shake at that because like I said, Tim Tebow might have been the ultimate winner if they would have completely surrounded him in his style of offense.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Right?
Yeah.
Luka and the Mavs eye another playoff shocker after avoiding a sweep by the Warriors with a 119-109 dub. Going to believe until the end, Luka said. Rain delayed the second half of the game as arena workers tried to plug a leak coming from the rain outside in the ceiling high above.
Yeah, I did see that. Awesome. I don't think they end up winning the series. But it was good to see him come back. Luka's been balling out. Needs more help from the other guys.
The first half, Luka was actually dog shit, so I didn't put that in there, obviously, but I'm going to say that. He was not good. It was his team, and that's what happens. We talked about that.
Yep.
'Cause this is at Dallas. That's where your surrounding players usually pick you up, and because they have the crowd.
Play better at home. Yeah.
They play better at home.
Yep.
And your star is supposed to get you that victory or keep you truly competitive on the road.
Ends up with 40, almost a triple.
He did.
Almost a
trip dub.
Yeah.
I think he had like 14 rebounds, 9 assists or something like that.
9 assists and 40 points, yeah.
I
don't think so I was looking or whatever. 2 years, man. The Mavs have like all their cap space, can sign anybody they want, plus offer Luka the max. A couple years here, I think we can get some better pieces to surround him.
Yeah, they could be dangerous in a couple years.
I don't know why they have such a problem bringing in like the true. You notice that? And like, I'm not talking about like past their twilight or in their twilight of their career. Like, why does Dallas have such a problem bringing in big hitters to pair with? Like, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, it never made sense to me because Mark Cuban has made it well known he takes care of his guys past their career too. If you were loyal to us, we will be loyal to you. You will have some sort of position.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Whether it be through coaching staff, the upper offices, anything, you won't be without a job.
Right. Plus the taxes in Texas, you don't pay that. So
yeah, it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. It does not make sense to me that someone wouldn't want to jump on with that, especially an owner that's passionate about his team and takes care of them. It doesn't make any sense to me. You have any insight on that? Makes no sense.
Mm-mm.
I don't know. Maybe this year will make a difference. So people are seeing what Luka can do in the playoffs. He just needs a couple more pieces. Maybe some guys will jump. Be like, all right. Like you said, what'd you say, 2 years?
Yeah, in 2 years they'll have basically max cap space, and then be able to offer Luka that max contract too.
Right on.
So they'll be open to pulling whoever's free agent at that time on in. That would want to be there, obviously, but
that'd be good in a couple of years because the next game they're out. So
next game
because it'll be 4-1. But
okay, I think they get the next game. Warm whiskey wager
done. Let's
okay,
do it.
boom.
We need to get a cheap bottle of whiskey because that ain't going one way right there. And you guys aren't getting. No, I'm hiding that bottle of good peach back there.
Get out of
that
here.
Don't count.
Didn't you already bet on the Mavs to beat Golden State? Actually,
Yeah.
Me and Jimmer.
He's trying to get one of
you're
them
trying
back.
to get another one? Oh,
He's trying to get one back to
Yep.
make it, feel good.
Yep.
Okay, I'm in.
You think they finished it off? All right.
Yeah, they don't. We go down 4-2.
So we do need to find a
4-2.
3-2.
All right, I'll take it.
Okay, let's say they do. Let's say they do pull that off, Chris. This next one. Then it's 3-2.
Then
at that point
is
I want to know what the shot is of them being the first team in NBA history to come back from 3-0.
Not as great because of the role players.
Right, but you give them a sliver of hope?
You can't give them a sliver of hope just because of how hot and cold Golden State can get. Mm-hmm. We've seen them. So, yeah, there is a slimmer, but I think ultimately,
6 games?
Yeah.
Okay.
Barring injury, right?
Yeah, I think they pissed their chance now when they blew that 14-point lead.
We were all like, okay, shit, 14 points at halftime?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Then just went cold.
I think it was even as high as 19 at one point in that first half. I think I saw. Nugget center, Nikola Jokic. Bucks forward, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Dallas guard, Luka Doncic. Celtics forward, Jason Tatum. And Suns guard, Devin Booker were named to do the All-NBA first team. Any surprises? Initial reaction? I know there's got to be one right there.
Oh yeah, Devin Booker for sure. But it's a regular season award.
Yeah.
I get it. So, all right.
Oh, that was your surprise. I was even going with that. Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
So that'll get to mine. Do you have an initial reaction, initial surprise, anything like that?
No.
Anyone you believe that should be up there?
I'm not saying anybody shouldn't. So,
I do. I think I got one. So this is positionless basketball. That's the era we live in for the most part. You have big men, yeah. But their centers are forwards for sure, and forwards are guards, and blah, blah, blah. What I'm getting at is that Joel Embiid, I believe, should have been on here. Now, whether that's for Jason Tatum or for Devin Booker, and you move Tatum to the guard position, I think they had I think they had every other one correct, right? I really do. I believe they had, but you had to find a way. In my opinion, you had to find a way to get Embiid on there because it isn't a center forward. Because you could have. They even said it in the article that you can. Embiid could have fell under the forward position.
So, in your head, it should really be the top 5 players.
I think it should be,
regardless of position.
I think isn't that what it should be? Your first team. First team. It doesn't say for, we don't, we, especially today's era, we move stuff along, right? In fact, when they were making, when it's been rapidly changing, it seems like it changes every year now, but when they made the All-Star rosters, remember it used to be starters, used to be center, forward, guard, right? And they're like, hold on, we have centers starting that don't deserve to be starting for sure. They might not even deserve to be on the All-Star game because centers took that massive dip, right?
Yeah.
And then they was like, no, this is positionless basketball we play now. The 5 best players that get voted are going to be up there, and the best players in general.
I could get behind that.
That's the first person I thought of was him. Maybe Steph Curry, but the guards I didn't have too big a problem with. Devin Booker was by far the best player on the best team.
By far the best player on that team.
Yeah, well, not all around player.
You said it right. Yeah, by far the best player on that team.
Fuck.
You're right.
There's nothing I keep like a dog piss on the carpet and you rub his nose in it, right?
I had nothing to even say. I'm like, God damn it, that's how I meant it. Damn it. I don't even know. Yeah. Oops. I got pulled over for rolling through a stop sign before I came, so I'm still mentally fried from it.
Right. And I get what you're saying about Tatum too, because it seems like he had a fine regular season, but the playoffs is really where he's taking off, right? So I could see that too.
Embiid was in the MVP conversation basically all season long.
Yeah.
Jason Tatum had a very nice season. That's all I was going to. I just think Embiid, you should have found a way to squeeze him in there.
Yep. Whether
it be Tatum or you move Tatum down if you have to. If you feel like Tatum had to be there, then you bump Booker, I guess.
Yep.
So, Tim Anderson addresses Josh Donaldson incident for the first time, saying could care less about the suspension or anything else that came with it. And they're not friends.
Yeah, and he never said they never had an inside joke about Jackie. Well, he never said it was an inside joke. He just said he referred to himself as Jackie in an article that he was the Jackie Robinson of this era.
Mm. And Donaldson, by the way, have you listened to his? Because he has had an interview too, right? Or like with the media.
I haven't heard that one, no.
So you need to listen to that. He looks genuine in what he's saying. It didn't look like he was scraping for answers or like trying to make shit up or anything like that. Because he said this went back to literally 2019. He's like, me and him joked about it, literally. And it was like he called himself something, and it was Jackie. But I mean, what he's meaning at is that I'm meaning it as a joke. You calling yourself like an all-time
great
historical figure or great. Of course, you're gonna hear that. And Chris touched on that on the last podcast about. I think it's irresponsible to just refer to everything as racist anymore. You're going straight to calling something racist. Just because I understand why in this instance, because it was a very historical thing, and it was about African American, very first one to come into Major League Baseball. I get that, but that is not everything is like that. It is literally, are you kidding me? Like when I shoot a ball and I call myself Tiger, he's gonna light me up, and especially on my very next bad, horrible shot that's going to happen. Okay, Tiger,
right?
That's exactly how it's gonna sound like, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And I was listening to some of the I was listening to some of that. I told you I listened to a lot of Sirius XM, Mad Dog Sports, and a lot of the callers, and they make it very clear when they say it too. They're like, "Hey, I'm a proud black man," everything like that. He's like, "This is almost everyone that I heard were literally saying this is horseshit." He's like, "That we're getting way too soft. That isn't racist."
Right.
He's like, I'm laughing at the fact that he called himself Jackie. Like, who the hell are you?
Exactly.
Like, who the fuck is this guy?
That
Right.
should be the response, right? Like,
Right.
Come on, bro.
Like, you're gonna call yourself that?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. If anybody would be this mad about some shit like that, it would be Mr. Anderson, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it got cranked up because Tony La Russa is the one that literally, because Tim Anderson didn't say it was racist. He said I felt disrespected. Tony La Russa is the one that said that was racist.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Right.
Either way, we didn't get much of your opinion on it. None of your opinions. You weren't here. Kids' graduation. So, what were your initial reactions?
I didn't think it should be a thing. It's like, whatever. Like, you have no context of, what was going on. All you have is hearsay, type of shit. And it's always weird to me when somebody that is not of a specific race thinks something's racist. You don't, talk to black people in the fucking sport and be like, "Hey, what do you think about this? Do you give a shit?" No. Okay, fucking let's move on. Like, it's not, I don't know. It's all about your intentions, man. Like you said, people talk shit all the time, and it doesn't necessarily mean it's racist or whatever the hell the slur is you want to put on it. But I was really surprised it even turned into a fucking thing.
Yeah.
It's like, here we go.
There is true, diehard, shitty racism going on in the world right now. In the United States, all over. This was not one of them. We got to separate what true racism is versus, that. Because this one to me wasn't. I mean, and I'm starting to gain a little bit more of an opinion. At first, I wanted to be careful because you don't know. There has been nothing that said otherwise. That's literally all that he has said. And nobody's ever said that he has came out and been made racist remarks before either. So,
yeah, talk to the club and be like, "Is he a piece of shit? Does he, say shit that hurt your feelings or you get offended by or whatever?" No, okay, then that's probably not his character, right? Like,
this is also Josh Donaldson, the same one that was calling out pitchers and their stick'em and shit. Mm-hmm. Right? Because wasn't there a beef with with the Yankees, and then he ends up going to the Yankees. And remember, they had those two had to work it out. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, and all of a sudden you're good when you're on the same team, right? Yeah, put that stick'em on, Holmes.
Yeah.
Right.
Did you suppose he brought some when he first came?
Right. He's like, "Hey, I got a welcoming present."
The NFL modified its head coaching hiring process with a resolution that prohibits interviews with candidates employed by a team until the conclusion of wildcard weekend. The league also expands the Rooney Rule to quarterback coaches. Now, at least one minority candidate must interview for that position. Little two-parter, but first one to basically cut that down is that you can't talk to someone until about a head coaching vacancy in your building until after the wildcard weekend is completed, so that people can focus on the game and not worry about setting up for their interview and stuff like that and questions and shit like that.
Yeah, that's good for sure.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Good. At first, I thought it was going to be something crazy. The ball going all over the place. But Tua actually has probably one of the prettiest balls I've ever caught in my life. It's very catchable. Tua is a very accurate quarterback. That's all I'm going to say. Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, all I got to say about this is that you have to say that.
You have to say that.
You have to say that. You cannot bash your quarterback, especially after the team just paid you a fuckload of money. You're not going to go in there and bash who they think is their franchise quarterback. So something had to be said by him.
It also doesn't matter. As long as he chucks it up, Cheetah's going to get it. So it doesn't matter how accurate it is.
Well, I mean, if he can't hit him in stride. If he throws it, he's got to come back to the ball.
There's a lot of times that
that's
Patrick Mahomes couldn't hit him in stride.
That's what I'm saying. Patty
Right, but most
of
the time, he's burning by people and catching it, right? Most of the time.
He'd still hop out of the building, too. He has ridiculous hops. Like, I'm talking about watching him with Kansas City, too. But, yeah.
I agree with that, but also he ran by people. That was one of his biggest things. He's so fast, right?
Yeah.
So you want your quarterback to be able to hit him. But regardless, it's something that had to be. He can't say, "Oh, he's got a weak arm."
Right.
You know, he can't. Yeah.
He's got to hit the gym.
I'm going to play contrarian to this one. I think he literally could have said that. The team just traded a ridiculous amount of picks, paid you a ridiculous amount of money. If there's one person that could say this quarterback is booty, it'd be that guy right there. And then they try to get a quarterback in. Like, hey, let's stop wasting time, get a real quarterback in.
That ain't gonna happen.
Could have. I'm saying there's one person that could have.
Who the hell are you getting? Who the hell are you bringing in?
Jimmy G.
Jimmy
baby.
G, I guess. Who's big on him here? I know it wasn't me. I know it's one of you two fools that are now trying to tuck underneath. Which one of you two? I honestly can't remember.
No, it's because you tried to say. I think you didn't. You try to say Baker was better than Jimmy G or
No.
something? It was.
No, I said
something
they were the same.
ridiculous.
I said they're the same.
And they're not. But
They are. Well, go for Baker then.
I don't know. I'm curious how it's going to go because now we will officially be able to see, like, does Tua actually have
Tua
arms?
is
Does he have an
going.
arm?
Tua is going to be a top 12 fantasy quarterback.
Top
I can
12?
see he's got.
Okay, I can
I
see.
can
Top
see it.
12.
I
That
can
means
see-
he's
yeah.
a QB1.
Yeah, look at his weapons. Of course, he should be as long as he stays healthy. Yeah.
I mean, should be. He's just going to be. He's going to make that
Okay,
progression.
Giants and fucking 9 wins. Got it.
I was 2 wins off, you dickhead. Yeah, or maybe I was 3. No, was it 3 or 2?
I think they only went 6.
They
right?
won 6
6 or
games,
3.
yeah.
There was a lot of bad ball rolling right there. You know, I'll get my next one right. I was right on a lot more than I was wrong. Let's go ahead and
I
rub
don't
my
remember,
one Giants
but
one in.
Definitely, that one is definitely going to
Actually touch on that for a half second, right? I seen a meme come up, right? Talking about how would you like to be on national TV and you had the Bears winning 10 games or something like that. And it was old boy Nick Wright.
Fuck.
He picked the NFC North. You go look at the rest. So the meme is that, right? Someone picking on that 10-win one. You look at the rest of it, he nailed the other 3, brother. He was 75% correct, but we forget about because of the one.
That's hilarious.
Like, damn.
Yep.
I just thought it was funny, but yeah, first off,
build 10,000 bridges.
yeah.
Nobody calls you a bridge builder. Suck one cock. Everybody calls you a cocksucker.
You're not wrong. Not wrong. NFL discussing future of Pro Bowl, including possible elimination of the tackle game.
Fuck, they already did.
Yeah.
Yeah, they already did without doing it. The
Yeah.
NFL didn't eliminate it. The players eliminated it.
Nobody,
before
and then
that.
they added a game. Yeah, they should almost get rid of it. You know, maybe make the selection and
So that's part of the discussions at the spring meeting. That's the reason why a lot of this NFL news is coming out right here. Is they're talking about like spotlighting their best players, like that this is what the weekend is supposed to be about anyways. So I'm about that. I think they're talking about doing like more competitions and stuff like that.
Skill stuff. I'd be
Skill
down for that.
stuff.
yeah.
Maybe you'd see like Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen finally launch it and see who are the cheetah versus whoever for speed. You know, stuff like that. If you remember the old Pro Bowl days, I used to watch. I was a
used to be
kid.
awesome, yeah.
They used to have like the quarterback competition. They used to have all that, like the weightlifting, the power stuff.
yeah. Maybe
But they could do. You know what? I'd probably even watch a flag football game. I probably would. You know what? Because at least
7 on
then I
7.
know it is. You know, at least at that point I know it is. It's not this guy's padding up to not actually hit each other.
yeah, maybe make more fan interaction. You know, there. Sit them in a seat like this, and for 8 hours, you basically take photographs with everybody who came there. You know,
Yeah.
run through a line. I don't know, something else. I mean, nobody wanted the longer schedule. They gave them another game. Nobody wants this Pro Bowl. You know, they already didn't want it in the game. There's hardly anybody really playing it. So,
Yep.
I was going to open up this and read about it a little bit. Judge denies NFL's motions to dismiss John Gruden's lawsuit. Move it to arbitration. So they must see something in it, right?
Something.
Otherwise you'd toss it, correct?
yeah, I don't get the arbitration part though.
The NFL tried to get the arbitration so that it would stay, like, try to
Yeah,
suck it
basically
back in, right?
pay him off or what?
I didn't.
That's the part I don't get.
Yeah, I guess I didn't. It sounded like to me like kind of the suck it back away from the courts and have the NFL take care of. Yeah, and then it'd be like compensation, I assume. That's usually what arbitration is. But
Right.
but yeah, I'm not 100% 100% knowledge on the arbitration part, but the motion to denies the NFL's motion to dismiss the lawsuit in general. So there's got to be some context, right?
Yep.
I hope there is.
100%.
Oh, because they were going to find out all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But that being said, it doesn't mean that all the shit that he said was right. He was being a racist piece of shit too. But he has plenty of knowledge. You've seen plenty of stuff. That's what I want.
He's got a little black
I want to
book.
know the other shit.
Hell
right?
yeah.
You know. Let's see. A little smaller scale. NFL scouting combine will remain in Indianapolis in 2023 and 24. The league announced Tuesday. This one made no why are we worrying about shipping that to other cities? Because that isn't a fan based inside thing, and it shouldn't be.
Right.
You're there literally to study young men coming in to try to make it into your league. This isn't supposed to be a fanfare thing.
Right.
Exactly.
The fanfare thing is afterwards. Like you bringing them to your team, and then you do shit like that. Like mini camp can be that. Stuff can be like that. Can be that. Even though going through business steps. This is literally to study somebody and their future, right?
Yep, 100%.
So I was just a little shocked by that, but that's what I have, gentlemen.
Oh, well, you missed one. So
What's up?
DeAndre Ayton and his agent come out basically and said they do not want to sign with the Suns anymore. He is a restricted free agent.
Were you waiting on that to just pounce? Because it's not anywhere else. Where'd you suck that out of?
Yeah, sources, baby. But he's got
Sources in Phoenix, baby.
So he's got
Swallow it.
But here's the thing, though. They were ready for a max contract. Apparently, they offered something, and he turned it down. Now he doesn't want to be there, but he's a restricted free agent this year, so that plays.
They can match any tender.
Yes, exactly. Match any tender. Now, if they want to do him a solid, which why would they? They could sign and trade. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out this summer.
Yeah. No, in basketball, this is where it's a little bit different, right?
Yeah.
So when it comes to this part, because DeAndre Ayton is in a weird position in his career, he started showing flashes a little bit this year of finally developing his niche, like developing into the player that you thought he would be. Not every night, you just seen flashes of it.
Yeah.
So he shows what he kind of can do, but then he disappears a little bit, right?
Well, he balled out last year, and then it almost seemed like he disappeared this year.
Balled out's a strong. That was inconsistent last year also. The numbers say that if you just go by the numbers, yeah, I'm just talking about. But it was massively inconsistent from game to game. What I'm getting at is that he's in a very weird position. First off, Phoenix, no, hell no, you don't. No. You're not going anywhere as long as we have any type of control. We will match whatever somebody puts out there because they only can put us. We already know what the max is that they can offer you anyways.
Right.
Yep.
And we're willing to pay that because we were going to possibly pay you
Probably more than that.
well, yeah, because you get the added year anyway. So we were going to pay that anyways. So yeah, you're going to be here another year, big guy.
Wonder what
It's sign and trade. Like the one thing that you can prove definitely in basketball, especially in basketball, draft picks, you cannot guarantee a goddamn thing out of them.
Yep.
There's been draft years where literally none of them were on a team or the first round picks.
Yeah.
And shortly after, I'm talking about within 5 years.
Yeah. Nope.
So the NBA of all the sports, is nowhere near can you get a slam dunk in the first round. So I'm not worried about that. I know I have a piece right now in you. So where I'm going to keep you and then I'm going to try to work on the relationship. If I can't, then so be it. I'm not giving you away for
nothing.
Yeah.
I don't remember, or maybe I just didn't see it. What's the story? Why doesn't he want to be there?
They offered him basically not the max.
Oh, because of what the originally offered. So
Yeah.
he's like, "Fuck you guys." Okay.
Yeah, basically he wants the max offer. Well,
But then it pissed him off in the playoffs?
The game's changing, right? The center position's not, just a straight up center, and that's what he is. Traditional center is not what it is anymore, right?
Right.
Even Embiid, right? He can go out, shoot the three. So can Towns. Jokic. I mean, he can do it all. And
The big
thing,
man is coming back, but in the form of what you're saying.
And he doesn't
they can
do
stretch
that.
it.
So he doesn't stretch. He plays more traditional style. So apparently they didn't offer him max on what he wanted. So then he's kind of just like, I want out, and he doesn't want to re-sign. But restricted free agent. So just some kind of interesting.
There is, so funny thing is I have seen that the Mavericks would have a shot and would try to go for him. And then the funny thing is that's the same draft class that they bypassed DeAndre and grabbed Doncic.
Yeah. That'd be interesting. How would you feel, Rio?
Did they bypass him? I thought he went before.
He went before.
Yeah.
They said they bypassed him.
They picked
The
him.
article I read, yeah.
Because
Pretty
I
sure
thought
he
he
went
was
before.
top like 5, right? And
We'll
I
look
thought the Hawks and Mavs traded at like 9 and 10 or
They
11.
took the Trae Young.
Yeah.
That was part of the Trae Young deal.
Yep.
Um,
Well, that's what I was saying. The Mavs and the Hawks flip flopped at like 9 and 10. I thought, or something like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Ayton was before. Yeah.
Luka.
Yeah. What draft class was that?
2018, pick 3.
Was Ayton?
No, Luka. Waiting for the second part to load. DeAndre Ayton was
Pick 1.
pick 1. Marvin Bagley, the 3rd. Maybe I flipped it around. Either way.
But yeah, regardless, that's
Then they get 2
Boy,
of
that would be-
two of those.
That'd be cool. I'd be
I don't
down
know
with it because
Bagley, is Bagley even still playing?
Marvin Bagley, yeah, he's with the Kings.
Yeah, is he
Yeah.
still with the Kings?
Yeah, and Dwight Powell's our center over there, and so yeah, I mean, I would take it for sure.
that wouldn't be bad.
Especially if he develops an outside shot.
Yeah,
Because that's the one thing that you can do. You can develop a shot. Like if you're like you don't just automatically get more athletic. You can't jump higher. You can't. The things you can work on is that you can develop a shot. Shaq couldn't.
well, you can meet my friend PEDs.
Who?
Meet my friend PEDs.
I thought you said PD something. I'm like, what?
Wheaties, yeah, Wheaties.
Wheaties.
That's what I said.
Wheaties. Yeah.
It'd be interesting. I don't know. Luka needs space, though. I don't think Ayton would move around enough to help that. I don't know. But
I
it'd
forgot-
be interesting.
I did forget to tell you. Then in that same rumors one, my friend, Jimmy G is also still on the Panthers' radar.
Speaking of the Panthers, did you see Sam Darnold said he'd be one of the best quarterbacks?
I
in the
did.
league?
I was gonna put that in the notes, but I didn't want to rub his nose in it. He gets beat down so
I
much.
did. Somebody did that, and I was like, "Hey, NFL, can we get a drug test?"
Yeah, right. Exactly. These dudes are like working out with their shirts off, and all of a sudden they get a random drug test. Look, this dude's allowed to go out there and say he could be one of the NFL's best quarterbacks. I'm like, come on.
Yeah, you know,
Check it.
Matt,
Either that.
Matt rules in the back.
Yeah, I would say bare minimum a CT like check, right?
Right.
Oh yeah, for sure. All right. Well, I think that brings us to our
Yeah.
wonderful segment, boys. It is time for Rio's Randoms tonight, brought to you by Bo's Power Washing out of Belmont, Iowa. Make sure to hit him up for all your cleaning and power washing needs. He does it all. He'll mow, weed eat, all that kind of stuff, moves snow. Make sure to hit him up at 641-903-1720. Tonight, first up on Rio's Randoms, would you rather have no internet or no cell phone?
That's easy.
Rest of your life, no internet, no cell phone.
No cell phone.
Yeah, no cell phone.
So, yeah, I was gonna say it's easy. The one thing I'll ask you, you mean, I assume, you're talking about like your house,
No internet access at all, anywhere.
like the World Wide Web doesn't exist.
For you, yeah, you don't get to use it.
Okay,
So that's almost like you don't get either
so
in that situation.
yeah, so like that,
Ooh.
yeah. I was gonna say this.
Your cell phone, you can use it. You can,
Do what? Make phone calls?
yeah, exactly. Text, you can text. Come on now.
Can you play Snake?
So there you go.
There you go. Yeah, easy. Get rid of the cell phone.
Yeah, we're going back to carrier pigeons.
Yeah.
I'm gonna carry around a
No,
tray of
I don't-
pigeons around.
Yeah, well, you lived a little older school. Also, guarantee you had one of those dial phones hanging up on the wall in the house.
Yeah, we did. We had
Yep.
a dial phone. I didn't get a cell phone until I was in 10th grade.
I didn't get one
That's
until
about right for me, too.
17, 16.
So that was
And that was a track phone, which is garbage. It raced through the time anyway. My real cell phone didn't happen until I was old enough to go get my own.
I'd say
At
2008 and 2009, I believe, is when I got one finally.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And it was a real simple. So my dad used to buy the Nokias, right? And that's
Yeah.
that's what I
Oh,
got,
yeah. Oh,
like
yeah.
that old school Nokias. It was
Yeah,
crazy.
bulletproof.
He'd buy packs of them at a time, and
Yeah.
they finally made him go to a smartphone.
A smartphone?
Yes. Yeah, he
'Cause you
hated
still get a
it. He
flip
hated
phone.
it. Yeah, flip phone, but those were like way too small for his hands.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And just at
Has
least
he-
the Nokia was
had-
like kind of wide.
Yeah, but had he heard of Jitterbug?
No, he didn't know. He
No.
was definitely not.
You
But
should-
he
you
so
should hook him up.
he'd put his phone in his pockets, like lean over and look into. We did wet wells, and they'd always fall out. And go I was like, what the hell?
Is that what your uncle called your backside?
Yeah. Well. Sewer well. Number
You need
two.
to freshen up back here.
If you had to eat a whole bottle, which one could you do right now? Bottle of mayonnaise, bottle of ketchup, bottle of mustard. Which one you have to?
I know one that you couldn't do right now.
What's that?
The mayonnaise, dude. He threw up. Did you hear that? He accidentally thought it was something.
Dude, let's do it. Let's see who can finish a thing of mayonnaise the fastest.
It'd probably be ketchup. Is what it'd be for me.
Ketchup or mustard. I think I could do a bottle of like the
You gotta
average
eat
size
the
or
whole-
whatever.
Yeah, you got to eat the whole thing.
I'd say mustard because mustard's a smaller bottle.
Yeah.
Average size, smaller bottle.
yeah,
But I mustard probably.
mustard. I like.
I like
mustard.
ketchup,
could
too.
Do mustard. I don't know if I do.
The mayo I can't. Like that just made me. And I like mayo. I'm more of a Miracle Whip guy, but I like mayo. There's no way I'm eating a tub of that.
Did you guys ever
no
see
way.
that? Was it a college football game? It was on ESPN a few different times, but this cat had this huge tub of mayonnaise, and he's just like doing one of these numbers. Oh my god!
So have you ever?
Have you heard Tom Segura talk about panty pudding?
Yo, gross.
He's like, I'm scooping it down like tapioca.
Oh, yeah. You nasty. God damn it. Have you ever taken what you thought was like, because it was in a fucking ice cream dish, you know, styrofoam dish with a fucking plastic lid on top. You ever taken that out of a freezer, thinking it was ice cream, taking a big old chunk of it and finding out it's like cinnamon fucking butter?
Oh,
Never.
Yeah, that's
That would
happened.
probably be good though. Cinnamon
that
butter.
wouldn't be bad.
No, but it's still butter.
It's still butter.
It's still butter. Look,
Butter is on everything though.
not when you're thinking it's ice cream, jackass.
It's like Michael Scott. He's like, isn't it too early for ice cream? He's like, it's mayonnaise. They're like, oh,
It's mayonnaise.
he's like, God, this is horrible. They're like, stop eating it.
Stop eating.
And last one for Rio's Randoms tonight. You have to pick one. Slow internet, horribly slow internet for the rest of your life, or hit every red light you come across the rest of your life.
Every red light, like begrudgingly, like I'm getting pissed. I get pissed thinking about both of them right now.
Yeah, dude.
The red lights is so bad. So I'm going to go red lights because I can try to avoid any one of those. I can go the roundabout way to try to avoid them. So
Or
I'm
you
going
can
to go
just
that.
drive 20 everywhere and you'll hit some greens. You know.
No,
you're going to hit them.
Anytime you come across a
It's going to
light,
be red.
It's gonna pop red.
That sucks.
Dude,
Or
slow
the rest-
internet though. Dude, we just dealt with that when
It's
I ran
gotta
out
be
of
red lights. Yeah, but damn.
that one sucks. That one hurts.
too.
Dude, when I ran out of fucking mobile data, or it doesn't run out, but it slows way down. No, it fucking stops.
Yeah.
So we're in transition here at where we record, we don't have like our normal internet. So I run my hotspot for this, and I didn't realize that. I thought I had fucking unlimited when he talk about that. But
So you do up until a certain gig.
You
Then
do.
It slows down.
yeah, oh, I know. Well, we found out. By the end of the podcast that night, my page had finally loaded.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah.
Now that, you know what? I was gonna go. Yeah. I'll take hitting every red light because that would drive me insane.
Yeah.
I do get like crazy. Like what the hell?
Yeah.
When we come back from Mason the other day, I swear we hit every red light. And I was just like, what the fuck?
But you know, we're so spoiled now. Like I can still remember when it was a dial-up era, and you were just excited to have the internet to kind of even 5 minutes to look at something because that's all you get because you spend the other half hour loading, and then you also have the load of
The fuck was
pages.
that? Say that again.
I don't
How
have
did it
exactly.
go?
Ding, ding, ding.
What?
Whatever the fuck it was, the dial tone thing.
I don't know what kind of internet you had.
Dude, yeah, I don't know.
Because I can't hit the tone, you asshole.
Was Wally
That's where
your
we're going.
Was fucking Wally your fucking internet
God, you
connection?
fucking bully.
Jesus Christ. And that, folks, is what I have tonight for Rio's Randoms. Make sure to hit up our guy Kevin Bochart.
Hey, little quick nugget for you gentlemen. Herschel Walker won Georgia's Republican Senate primary.
Yep. Good for him. Good for
Also,
him.
also a friend of Donald Trump. Just putting it out there.
Trump's funny. He likes to endorse famous people. Herschel Walker, Dr. Oz up in Pennsylvania. He's hilarious, dude. Yeah.
Bring him back as just a personality. Remember when you used to love Donald Trump? Everybody used to love Donald Trump for the most part.
I remember when I wasn't paying $4.35 for gas.
I wasn't even talking about the political side, asshole.
That's not political. That's straight numbers, baby.
That's a fact. You're not wrong. I was just talking about like when you see him in like every movie, like a little cameo. You didn't even realize it.
Yeah.
Like Home
You're
Alone.
fired.
Home Alone, yeah.
Home
What was
Alone.
that?
Yep.
He was also in what's that? Little Rascals. I don't know if you guys realize that. He was the father of the rich kid. He was up in the stands.
Oh.
And I didn't realize that. I'd seen it a million times when I was a kid. I watched it one time with my kids, and it comes to that section, and he's up in the stands. But he was in cameos all the time, you know?
Yeah, I didn't
Back
realize
when-
that. I did watch Your Fire or whatever the hell
Which one?
his show was. Donald Trump.
Oh, The Apprentice?
Apprentice, yeah. Used to watch that back in the day.
Yeah, you fired. Well, The Office. The Office talked about it too.
Yeah.
Did you guys? When they're trying to figure? Dwight thinks it's Friday. And he's like, "Did you see what was on The Apprentice last night, dude? Who he picked?
Who they fired?
Who they
God, I
fired?"
never go out with my laser tag team on a Wednesday.
Yeah. What else we got?
Where's your weird law?
Well, you kind of skipped over, so I figured you didn't want none. Is this where we're looking at each other real weird for a while? It's kind of creepy.
Stop
feel.
undressing me with your eyes. You're
It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to undress you when, in my mind, you've already been undressed.
Yeah, Jimmer was definitely crotch gazing.
I tell him on a regular basis that my eyes are up here, not right here.
No,
The dude, I can't get.
I walk up to Jimmer and he's
It's
just like,
metal to magnet for this guy.
I was
For
like,
Christ's sake,
I was like, Jimmer, hey ho.
Jimmer did take us into a locker room with the dude undressing and stuff.
He did. He did.
I
so-
did not.
Now you were in front of.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Real
You
quick.
were. Hold
real
on.
quick question on your mother's.
Yeah.
Which two guys are the last ones out of that said locker room while dude was still changing?
Who was the first one? And you're like, oh,
Doesn't
and
matter.
you kept going.
Who were the last two? Like,
and you
once someone
kept
realizes-
going. You didn't be like, oh no, let's back up. You were
No,
just like, let's
I
go
went
in.
the other way, and then I came back
That's
out. Yeah.
not how that happened.
You guys hung
There's
around.
There's a lot of things
and then
that
all,
happened that
and
night.
then all of a sudden, it was only you two that
what
just
about
so
the-
happened to talk to that fighter that
What
night.
about the hand in the lower back?
You nasty. That is not.
I think I have a picture. My
I don't
my
think anything
surface.
about it.
Yeah. Oh, you can say that now.
Marlboro, Massachusetts.
Oh, would you want to skip over that?
You want it or not? Marlboro, Massachusetts.
Is it like the cigarette? Marlboro?
I don't know. Yeah, it's spelled like that.
Okay.
It is illegal to buy, sell, or possess a squirt gun. Silly string is illegal in the city limits also.
What the fuck?
That's the most boring place.
No
to
fun city.
live. Yeah.
No fun city, Marlboro.
It's bullshit.
But
Bet
you're,
you cigarettes
you're
are
allowed to
super
rip
cheap.
some cigs,
Yeah.
some
Hell yeah,
heaters,
just rolling heaters out.
as long as they're Marlboro brand.
Right? Have to be.
Yeah, yeah. And that's what I got, gentlemen.
Very nice.
We do have, what is his name? We do have a coach coming on Friday, don't we?
Yes.
It'll be our first coach, correct?
Yeah.
Minnesota State lineman coach, I do believe, right?
Yes, indeed.
I'm Chad Henning. I was trying to find it. That's the reason why I'm like trying to lead it on there. Can't wait to talk to a coach, though. That'd be cool.
Yeah, it'll be awesome.
Make my son listen to that offensive lineman mentality. You're listening. You better be listening already. Consider I'm the one paying the bills.
100%.
Yeah.
Tune in, kids.
Yep.
Tune in.
Yes, sir.
All right. Anybody got to make sense?
Are you waiting on me for that too?
Yeah. I just did one yesterday, so. God, that was so funny. I was just remembering that today, thinking about that dude. Did you hear it?
I didn't hear that one. No.
Dude, he was carrying groceries like across Hy-Vee parking lot, and you know where Casey's is? There's like a 3-foot retaining wall, and he like went to jump up, didn't make it, and like fell back.
Oh, no.
Yeah, the milk in his hand busted, so he's sitting in a pile of milk. Yeah, and then he has some other. I didn't see what else he had, but he had like probably 3 on each side and carrying that thing of milk.
Oh, my God.
So he's just sitting in this pile of milk, all defeated.
Dude, I end up going there like middle of the week after work most of the time, and there's always this, like, used to be a couple, but they're exchanging their kids in like the back of the Hy-Vee parking lot every time, and they sit there and talk like for an hour before they exchange the kid. I'm like, I feel like I just wouldn't do that here. I might go somewhere else, maybe go to a
It's
park.
a safe
or something.
place, okay?
But
It's a safe place.
yeah, and now they got to stand in milk and shit when they're doing it. It's kind of fucked up, dude.
Nah, I think some of it dried up.
I might have one.
Okay, yeah. Let's
So I
go.
got a pretty bad one. Hopefully my wife remembers and she doesn't kill me. So we call this the near death strip club trip.
Okay.
This is back when I was much younger. And I can't remember if I was 21 and my wife wasn't yet. Maybe it was something like that. Well, I'm going to kind of go do what I want. Like kind of like a college phase without the college, right? So I'm gonna put them all out there since I'm putting myself on the ringer too. Me, Jamar, let's see, Jamar, dude named Justice, Rusty, and one other person. I can't remember who the other one was. We're in this van. We go up to the wonderful, classy place of Myrtle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to say I've been there before.
Yeah, so in this town, it's basically a complete farmer, like co-op town, whatever. That's what's around. One bar and then a titty bar. So we're going up there. That's a dry bar, or whatever you want to call it. Like, so there's no alcohol in the strip club. So we take a couple cases of beer, and we were acting real super irresponsible. We hammered a lot of fucking beer on the way up, when we got there, in between, the whole works, you know. Walking out, making sure we get a drink. Then we go down to the bar, which is only like 2 doors down, and get a couple shots and shit like that. Like stupid drinking. While also checking out the fine establishment. On the way back, we let a guy drive. This is so the easy words of wisdom is going to be very point blank. But we let a guy drive that had no business driving, and we argued with him about doing it. Like, he was in by far the worst shape, by far. It was his van though, and when he gets to like a certain mode, he turns like psycho. So it's like, all right, well, I'll sit up front with him so I can keep an eye on the wheel, you know, at bare minimum. Or maybe it wasn't me. I was in the back, because we get to the funny part of this. Someone else agreed to sit in the front that said that they could pay attention to the wheel. Well, this dude,
Like that is gonna fucking prevent.
No shit.
now exactly. So now we've been exactly. So now we have been drinking. Now he's trying to take complete back roads all the way back to stay off the highways.
Oh, yeah, driving on gravel road.
Drive on a gravel road.
good.
Makes a lot of sense,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Oh, it gets better.
Perfect.
He's not paying attention to the sense that he's going 90 on a gravel road. This is
What
like
happened to the dude watching the wheel?
yeah.
Wasn't
he's
watching the
he's watching.
speedometer?
He's not watching speedometer. He never promised
Gotcha.
that.
Okay. Yep.
Still gets better. We're like yelling at him to slow down. You know, like this is where you like you think you know you're gonna die before it happens.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, God, this is stupid. I'm never going to a titty bar without my wife ever. Like, she knew, like, after she found out, and she was blowing up the phone. Yeah, she was blowing up my phone.
Wise words from the Reverend.
Oh,
Kevin Sharp.
she was not happy. All the wives weren't happy because as soon as she found out, she spread the word, and it turned into all our phones were like ringing nonstop. We're trying to get back. He's going 90 down gravel road. I don't know why he decided something was more important. Oh, he looks back at me. That's how he knows I was in the back seat. He looks back at me while he's driving on a gravel road, almost 90 miles an hour.
What's up, bro?
I'm like, what the fuck? We come to a fork. A fork. Not even a fucking T. A fork. I didn't even know there's a fork gravel road. I'm like, yo, I'm turning the fuck around, blah, blah, blah. Watch him. Obviously, at 90, there's nothing you're fucking doing at this point. There's nothing that you're not going to do that isn't going. Your best bet is actually what this dumb drunk fucker ended up actually doing. And that was tried to obviously slow down. He didn't slam on the brakes. Tried to slow down, but then just decided to take it right down into the fucking ditch. Because it honestly was our best bet. If you would have turned sharp, you would have done any of that, we would have rolled this bitch, we'd all be toast. He goes down into this ditch, and we're going straight. Like I said, it was a fork. Missed a tree, plunked another one on the right side. Just grazed it. Like, counter our graces. Now, if you could get a still shot, if there's one picture I'd want for, like, the rest of my life, like that I didn't get or there wasn't made or whatever, was this one. And that is, if you look back at us, there was 3 of us in the back seat. I was braced like this, like almost standing up, like I'm like almost shitting myself, like top of the cab of the van, door, the whole works, holding on to fucking everything I possibly can, about shitting myself, thinking I'm dying. I have Rusty holding onto my leg down here on the fucking floor, basically, and I'm pretty sure Jamar's like holding me around the waist, like we thought we were all fucking dying, right? God. And like I said, I can't. Oh, Mike! It was my cousin Mike. My cousin Mike was in the front seat because he doesn't drink at that time didn't drink as heavily, so he was up there. But us 3 are back, and I'm like,
he was wheel watching,
not speedometer watching,
not speedometer watching.
Now, a couple little side bits to this, so that I was like, Jesus Christ. Number 1, they blamed me.
What?
Yeah, hold on. He's like, I'm like, what the fuck were you doing? You're lucky we're fucking alive, you piece of shit. You know, I'm like going off on him, and I'm like, what? I'm like, what the fuck were you thinking? You're going 90-something miles an hour? Mike, my cousin, even on top of it at the time, you know, we got along at that point. And Justice, what was your fault? You got him to turn around and look at you. He didn't have to turn around. I told him to slow the fuck down. He turned around and made me a full look at me. I'm like, not even in the mirror. I'm like, what? How is that my fault? I'm telling him to slow the fuck down. I told you we grazed that tree. Here's the other funny part. We have to. So this fork is not very far away from this gravel road. Was not very far away from Northwood, like where the casino is, and what is that? The gas station right there. We had to stop in there because when he grazed that tree, it knocked out his headlight. Like the light. And we still need to make it, obviously, to Mason City, which is 20 minutes away from there still. While intoxicated. I don't know if the only people with the actual driver's license were too intoxicated to, yeah. It's not a good situation. It was not a smart decision. So we had to go in there, get a headlight, get it installed. Luckily, I think they had one too, just by dumb luck.
At a gas station?
Yeah, at a gas station.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I couldn't believe they had one. I don't know if it was the exact right one, but he made it work. So, get back. Of course, my wife, she wasn't my wife at the time. She was my girlfriend. She lays into me, and I ate every second of it. And like, there was no bickering. There was no nothing. Normally, I'm like, I'm just glad to see you. I love you. I'm sorry. I'm never, ever going on a little thing like this again without you knowing where the fuck I am. Because this was like trying to be sneaky, you know, because she didn't want us going doing shit like that anyway. Like, none of us had told her.
What are the words of wisdom?
Girls. So many. So many. First one, obviously, the clear-cut one. Don't drink and drive.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Secondly, don't have an idiot drink and drive. Don't talk to somebody when they're driving, I guess. So they turn around and look. I don't know. 90 down a gravel road, don't do that.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, make sure your spouse knows where you are.
Make sure your spouse knows where you are. Make sure you kissed your loved ones, just in case you are with some dum-dums.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Makes sense if you don't think about it.
Definitely makes sense. Well, I'm glad you're alive, Jimmer. So there's that.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I am Rio. I don't know if you caught any of this, but he said somebody had Jimmer around the waist. Somebody was grabbing his knee.
Yeah.
This sounds like a totally different story. Like, you know,
I can't help
not
what they
PG.
wanted. I can't help what they wanted. And at that point, if you guys understand a true life-death experience, I don't give a shit what's going on. I literally thought I was dying. I'm like you could see, you thought it was going to happen, what was actually before it happened. I'm like, this is it. And I wasted it on a poor-ass fucking strip club like that.
Yeah.
Like, God damn it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been to that strip club. We were at the bar.
Everybody at this table has at some point.
We're outside, right, ripping heaters. Before we're walking in, we're talking to some gal. She's like wrapped in a blanket, and chit chatting with her, and like, oh yeah, that's weird. She's out here, but whatever. And then we go in the door, and we're like, the place is dead. We're like, yeah, what the heck? Where's your girls? Oh yeah, she was outside smoking. Oh. Wait, this is a titty bar? It looked like a 12-year-old boy out there.
Damn.
So, yeah, we turned around, went to the bar, had a couple drinks, and went home.
Oh, man.
I remember
With all
a
due
night
respect.
we packed like 7 people in my Mitsubishi Eclipse to go up there.
Yeah.
That shit was lit, Jimmer.
Yeah. Yeah. But, dude, a Mitsubishi Eclipse, you can imagine how small the fucking back seat was, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was tiny. Made an adventure that one too. See, it isn't what you see up there; it's the adventure you make in between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of the wonderful Myrtle place. Because if you actually step in there, it's been quite a long time.
To put it nicely, yeah.
Ouch.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Damn, man. 90 on a gravel road. I don't know about all that.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to start wrapping her up, ladies and gentlemen. So we always appreciate if you like, share, subscribe, the whole thing. If you're just stumbling across us, where's the podcast available, Jimmer?
Anywhere and everywhere you possibly think of. Most specifically, YouTube, and YouTube. But Spotify, Google, Apple Podcasts, Facebook for a little bit longer, and anywhere else in between.
You damn right.
iHeart
Radio.
iHeart.
What?
Yep.
And obviously, as you can tell by that long and hilarious story, we love telling stories. We love hearing yours. We want to be able to share with everybody. So if you've got something to share, go ahead and slide in
to our DMs. Make sure you hit us up with that story. We'll get out to all the folks that want to hear it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I think that about wraps her up, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, everybody, for listening. This is 3 Gig Sports.
We out.
Discussions, I've been writing, I love it.